This is the 6th video in the How to Be a Yo-Yo Champion series. In this video, we'll be talking about how to get a sponsorship and what that involves. Before we get into anything else, we need to discuss what sponsorship is. Sponsorship is a business partnership. It's not an entitlement that you receive after you win a certain number of contests, and it's not just an opportunity to get free stuff. From a yo-yo company's perspective, they sponsor players in order to help promote their brand or their products. In return, they may give you free product to use, fly you to yo-yo contests or other promotional events, and they might even design a signature model yo-yo with you that has your name on it. In all of this, however, it's crucial that you don't forget the reason they will offer you all of these things is because they have found that you are a good representative for their brand and are useful for raising awareness for their products and mission. If you want to be sponsored, you need to show companies that you'll be worth their time and money to invest in you. And as you prove yourself more and more, a good sponsor will know when to take things to the next level. In the best sponsorships, both parties benefit. So how do you make this happen? Different companies, of course, have different goals and values. For this reason, it's important to get to know the specific companies you'd like to have sponsor you. Some companies are more about winning contests, while other companies are more about conveying a certain attitude and linking that to yo-yoing. Because of this, you don't need to be winning every contest you attend to get sponsored. You just need to demonstrate that you can be an asset to a company to help them further their specific goals. Also, I want to point out that in my opinion, sponsorship shouldn't be a goal you aim at directly. What I mean by this is don't shape your yo-yo career and life based on what you think a company is looking for in a sponsored player. When you get sponsored, you want it to be a natural fit. For example, if you only compete to get noticed and not because you enjoy it or have a drive to win, you'll ultimately be disappointed. This is because yo-yo companies are not just looking for winners, but for people who are genuinely enthusiastic about yo-yoing. Instead of trying to be the player you think a company is looking for, you need to find those outlets where you genuinely love expressing your enthusiasm for yo-yoing, and that can be all kinds of things. It may be through teaching, or through posting crazy tricks or amazing pictures on social media, or if you have that competitive spirit, it may be through winning contests. Also, just so you know, it's highly unlikely that you'll get sponsored if you're asking companies to sponsor you. Asking them will do absolutely nothing. They will notice you when you're already active doing the things that will make you worth sponsoring, so make them notice you by working hard and proving yourself through your actions. Beyond this, I think the best way to talk about sponsorship is to tell you my journey of getting sponsored by Yo-Yo Factory and my experience of being a Yo-Yo Factory sponsored player over the last 7 years. 2010 was kind of a breakout year for me. During the Pacific Northwest Regional that year, I got 2nd place. I then went to the California States and placed 4th. I ended up placing 4th at the Bay Area Classic as well that year, and I was practicing for my first US Nationals. My mentor Augie Fash then talked to me about joining Yo-Yo Factory, the company he was sponsored by at the time. He put me in touch with their brand manager, Ben McPhee. After speaking with them, I made the decision that it was something I wanted to pursue, so I accepted the offer to join Yo-Yo Factory. Little did I know, it was one of the biggest decisions of my life. When I became a sponsored player, Yo-Yo Factory did not immediately start flying me around the world to contests or even offer to make me a signature yo-yo. At first, they simply provided me with any product I needed. This made sense because I was still establishing myself as a competitor, so they gave me the tools I needed to succeed. This also motivated me to succeed even more because I now felt I could rely on them to get me what I needed in order to reach the next level. Since buying product was no longer an issue, I was able to give all of my energy to the contest itself. I ended up getting 4th place at US Nationals that year. At this point, I proved to Yo-Yo Factory that I was a serious competitor. The small investment that they had made in me paid off, so I knew they would be even more eager to keep working with me in the future in more serious ways. Yo-Yo Factory then told me they would fly me to the World Yo-Yo Contest the following year. This is something important to consider. By placing 4th at the US Nationals, I gave them a reason to fly me to Worlds. Leading up to Worlds, I worked really hard on my competitive routines. I won 2 regional contests that year, and after my win at the Bay Area Classic, Yo-Yo Factory offered me my first signature yo-yo. I then used that yo-yo to place 3rd at the World Yo-Yo Contest. Over the next 2 years, I continued to work closely with Yo-Yo Factory, and the next big breakthrough was in 2013. Ben had a whole new marketing idea that he had never tried before, and because of our history together, he knew I was the right player to make this happen. On my side, I had some new ideas for yo-yo that were even more experimental than yo-yos I had used before. I ended up receiving some prototypes of the yo-yo, and as soon as I threw it, I knew. Within 2 months of the Shutter's release, I won my first US national title. Ben's marketing strategy was equally successful and the shutter quickly became a Yo-Yo Factory bestseller. Just under a year after its initial release, the shutter and I went to Prague and brought home the world title. After all these successes for both me and Yo-Yo Factory, you can imagine the next time Ben had an exciting new idea to bring Yo-Yo Factory yo-yos into new retail spaces, he thought of me. Together, we designed a low-priced plastic yo-yo that would be easy to use but competitive enough to win with. Before long, the Replay was born. At $16, it was a yo-yo that was priced perfectly for specialty shops and new players, but good enough to allow me to bring home the 2015 US national title. When you think about all of this, you can see why I say a sponsorship is a business partnership. My side of the partnership is to do what I can to help them create and sell yo-yos. On their side, they provide me with the tools and opportunities I need to fulfill my potential as a player. And because I receive a royalty on each of my signature yo-yos, whenever they succeed, I benefit as well, and the more I achieve, the better they do as a company. At its best, in a sponsorship, both parties are able to achieve more together than they would separately. If you want to be sponsored, the best place to start is to show that you're enthusiastic about yo-yos and to do your best at whatever your outlet is, whether that be competing, social media, making videos, etc. Keep at it, continue to improve, and the companies will take notice.